All right, IGN and
Oh, hey. Nice to meet
Hi,
you.
how are you?
Chris, nice to meet you. Good.
What's going on?
Good. How's it going?
Hi.
So this is a psychological thrill, but also a very moralistic tale. Is that kind of what drew you to the project?
Yes, originally Richard Kelly, of course, was a huge draw because I loved his Donnie Darko. I was a huge fan of, and I always felt that he was such a fresh filmmaker, somebody with a really unique voice. And then after reading the script and sort of, it was very existential. It was very not what I had expected in the way of how he was sort of, there's just layers and layers. Because I was first told it was a horror movie, and I read it and I realized it's not at all a horror movie. It's a psychological thriller, and as you get into it, it really does sort of pull you in, and there's a wonderful love story in the midst of it as well. So, and then there's a little sci-fi.
There's everything. It's a 4-quadrant film. Come see it, man. It's awesome.
You know how to sell a movie.
Yeah, I don't look desperate. No.
It almost seems a little bit relevant now, especially with the economic times that we're going through as a nation, and then in the story you guys are having some tough times.
It's frightening to think who would push that button today. I think I want to give humanity and society the benefit of the doubt, but I got to be honest. You go online and see a couple of message boards talking about the concept of this movie, and most people are like, you push it, yeah, you do it, I don't know that I could ever get to the point.
Anyhow,
right, time to clean up. It's time to clean up.
You could easily justify it saying, well, the person that's going to die is some bad person.
Yeah, you could, but then you realize the box goes to somebody else, and if they push it, you could be their somebody that they don't know. There's that whole thing too, see?
Yeah. Unless you know everybody.
Unless you know everybody. Well, and also, too, it's like Richard talks about this, but the whole push-button society we live in today, where you don't have to do. People want everything for nothing. You don't want to have to work for anything. You just boop boop.
Instant gratification.
Yeah. So
Instant gratification and no repercussions for your actions.
Yeah.
That's the society that we live in now, and it's actually kind of interesting to set it back in 1976, where it was a completely different mindset. Society had a different view of those things. There was a more heavier moral weight that we carried as a society on aspects of that. But nowadays it's we've sort of really desensitized ourselves about it. So it is going to be interesting with the audiences see how they see it in this day.
And it's a ride too. I mean, I like Cameron wanted to work with Richard because I think he's a visionary. He's a young guy who's ambitious and really goes for it. As off the wall or as crazy as his ideas might seem, it's like he really embraces it with strength and courage. And I wanted to be a cog in his wheel. You want to be in that world, and he created a really elegant film, very nostalgic, very much Kubrick. A lot of attention to detail and symmetry, and very a lot of the Hitchcockian elements. So that adds a nice touch to the film as well.
It's amazingly shot.
Yep.
It's beautiful.
It's kind of good.
I'm still crying.